Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Rocket Rabbit Commentaries. Commentary over Mechwarrior 4 Mercenaries, and in this episode, we'll be continuing on through Merc Alley A on planet Eaton. Again, Eaton is mostly an additional tutorial planet with Haloran 5, so we don't really need to do much. Although we are running our Hellspawn that we got a couple missions ago.
20 vehicles and 2 mech escorts. You are just over a kilometer out from their current position. Over.
Thanks, Castle.
Running
Close
with the
up
mechs.
and form on me.
Roger. Roger, lead. Copy.
Okay, you heard the lady. Let's hit them hard and fast. Concentrate fire on mech escort and move on to the armed vehicles. Leave as
We're
many
actually going to be
convoy
focusing on the
vehicles
tanks
as possible
first
for
because
salvage.
those demolishers have let's
target.
see, what is it? Yeah, an AC-20 and an LBX-20 as well. The LBX-20 specifically is one of the premier weapons that I love running. So because if you can run any more than one of it at a time, it will just rip through enemy mechs.
Nice.
Target destroyed.
Take out the
Alright, now
designated
some
target.
soft targets.
The vedettes are specifically soft targets. The chimeras are not. They are, they are medium mechs. So they actually have some pretty decent armor on them.
What was that, like an electromagnetic wave attack that was ruining our HUD?
Copy. Watch
No,
your
that was
crosshairs,
us being
people. If they
overheating.
Go blue. Don't
Oh,
shoot.
interesting.
Again, I am absolutely terrible when it comes to heat management.
That you can
And
only
since we are
fight.
on since we are on a desert planet, we actually have I have to worry about our heat efficiency being even worse than normal.
Oh yeah, I mean, machines have to obey certain, conditions in order to function in general. Like you're saying, heat management. That things expand and contract depending on the temperature. That objects behave differently depending on temperature. Absolutely, it makes a lot of sense, and I think it helps keep up the game immersion while also making it a unique game in its own right. Like a survival game where you have to eat fiber, because if you cannot shit very well for 7 days straight, you will die.
Enemy is history. Another one.
I dislike having a hunger meters in survival aspects. Honestly, I dislike survival aspects in my games in general. Honestly.
I mean, I thought that Fallout New Vegas with its hardcore mode was pretty cool, and then I realized that hardcore New Vegas is a terrible game, and I shouldn't care what it considers as a fair challenge.
What makes it so what makes it so terrible?
That they'll just randomly
Escorts
drop a
eliminated.
Deathclaw on
Take
you
out
right
that
after
armor.
you have posted your one and only save for the file, and just force you to restart
Target
because
destroyed.
now you can't get away.
Well, actually, that's part of the map design, isn't it? Or is that one of the earlier dungeons?
Target destroyed.
Well, it could also
Take
be
out the
a
designated
glitch in the game,
target.
another glitch in the system where it will just, like, maybe there's like a scripted event in the game where there's not a Deathclaw there before, but when you
Armor
meet the
assets
mission
destroyed.
specifications, like destroying all of the tanks on the battlefield with your mech warrior, that then a
Stand
Deathclaw will
down,
spawn.
convoy.
But this
You are
Deathclaw did
hereby
not
taken
respond
as
to anything in
salvage.
particular. It was
Screw with
just the
us,
game breaking
and
down
you
on
will
itself,
regret
and
it.
it caused me to have to abandon the hardcore mode run that I was doing, that I was having a good time with, and it was getting really challenging, but then it just got stupid.
We have successfully acquired our first heavy mech, the Argus.
Hell yeah.
The Argus is a pretty shit heavy mech, to be perfectly honest, but since it's the heaviest thing that we've got, I'm gonna be piloting it for a little while.
Argus.
The Argus is incredibly limited. It has no additional components. It doesn't go all that fast, and it's relatively lightly armored. But it's very specifically supposed to be an artillery support mech, and I never use it for that. I always end up focusing a bit more on its two relatively large beam slots.
elegant design. Kind of shaped like a corseted woman with great bosomy breasts. But where the arms should be,
because it's pink at the moment.
you
Once
have
it actually,
flamethrowers.
it only looks that way because it's pink at the moment. Once we switch it over to its to a much better color, it'll look less feminine.
I know. It's just, I think I'm finally catching up that it seems like every one of these mechs has a top half and a bottom half, and between these two halves is the rotating servo that actually, like, gives you 360 aiming rotation.
Yep.
Which I think
And
is awesome.
honestly, it's not really 360 on all mechs. I think on a majority of the mechs it's 360, but it's not 360 on all mechs. I forget what mechs specifically don't have a full 360. I think the Thanatos specifically doesn't have a full 360 on it.
Only a few holdout bases remain in several remote wilderness areas.
I need to go figure out what the hell went wrong with that Chimera before we launch, but I don't think we're going to figure that out.
Well, because
Nope.
Rufus is a doofus.
SATCOM confirms the base is occupied
So one of
and
our mechs doesn't actually have any weapon systems on it.
activity, but that doesn't mean they're not out there.
Roger, Castle. Nothing
Roger,
showing up on
Castle.
the scope
With
yet.
our fully equipped
Moving on
army,
the base.
according to the
Okay,
narrative,
Inspector
nothing could
Lance,
possibly
when
go
we get
wrong
on
in
the
this
base,
mission.
I'll concentrate on taking
Gonna be
out
a
the
piece of
objective
cake,
buildings.
guys.
You focus on enemy combat units. Copy?
I'll give it my best, sir.
Now, usually I don't actually bother to run pulse lasers because pulse lasers, despite being relatively efficient sources of damage, and tend to overheat your mechs significantly more than other forms of lasers do.
And this is like the Five Nights at Freddy's of FPSs. You can't have all this shit on because then you're gonna run out of power.
Spectre taking fire from base turrets. Here we go,
Oh,
people.
I'm a
Look
lumberjack
sharp.
and I'm okay. I'm crushing
Also,
trees and I'm going
the flares,
all the way.
the flare of your missiles will absolutely attempt to blind you if you have that night vision mode on. So.
Oh, right, because yeah. So, good call right there because that means this
Roger.
video
Take
could
'em out at range.
get a
Those
little
AC-20s can't
shocking.
reach too far.
Enemy detected.
There's a secondary objective in this mission that I always have problems doing, and that's actually taking down all of the neutral vehicles. I never have the wherewithal to figure out where all of the neutral vehicles are.
Yeah, screw it. It's optional. If it was so important, why did they give me a choice?
Enemy detected. Enemy detected.
No, because you wanted me to do it. I see.
So in this mission, our goal is to actually destroy this entire base, and we as the leader of our mercenary company, are supposed to be focusing specifically on the base, whereas our units are taking down the base defenders.
SATCOM didn't pick anything up.
To the point where our allied units won't actually fire on the buildings.
And leading the charge apparently is Anthrax.
Engage at your discretion. The contract only requires us to take out the base and
Well, what makes you think that Anthrax is leading the charge?
It's a madhouse. Also, I finally realized that Nav Alpha is what the mission parameters uses to designate locations. They are not the names of locations on the map.
That is correct.
There's a lot of
It's navigation point alpha.
yes versus navigation point beta
Level critical. Shut down.
or
We
gamma.
have overheated.
Oh, we're dead.
No, we're not dead. We're overheated.
Oh shit.
Your mech will force itself into a shutdown state if you overheat too much.
God damn. But meanwhile, we're still taking damage, but I can't see my health bar. Dude, this is suddenly a rockin' good time. Where was this music when we were destroying shit during the day? It's because they can only have concerts at night.
Damn it, Argus! Stop being alive.
Target
There.
destroyed.
Okay, that Myrmidon's down.
Target
Myrmidon. Factory.
Peregrine.
Peregrine.
Target destroyed.
Heh.
All right, that factory is down.
Fastest nosedive into the dirt
Main
I've ever
dormitory
seen.
is down.
Warehouse.
Castle. Base defenders are eliminated.
That's the last of them.
Level the enemy base. Okay. Destroy their storage buildings.
Yep.
No, that's a good factory. There's a vehicle
Nav
hangar.
point Alpha reached.
No, you don't want to touch that. It's a bit laser turret. Ah.
But yeah, I really dislike the fact that that our allies just refuse to actually deal damage to the buildings.
Approaching critical heat level.
Watch your heat levels, mister.
Warning. Heat exceeding recommended level.
And this is why I don't run pulse lasers because if you want to be efficient with your damage, pulse lasers are a good way to do it. But you have to invest so much more into heat sinks that it's usually not really worth it.
Acknowledged, Spectre 1. Reported
The
mission
fleeing
success.
I hate
work,
missions
people.
that make
Let's
you take
get
out
ready for
fleeing
on-site
vehicles.
TAC
Like,
ops in
no,
seconds.
they
No
got
telling if the Loyalists
away
have another
again.
camouflaged base nearby.
Damn it.
It's 150k. It's not really all that much.
ETA 15 minutes.
Excellent work.
Yeah.
We got another Argus,
The
a
Loyalist
catapult,
base has
and an
been
Osiris.
pacified, and a
Unfortunately,
significant
Shredder
stock of
lost his
weapons and
Chimera.
mechs have been captured. We'll soon have the chance to put our new arsenal to
Destroyed.
work. Not
Oh,
all of the
Rufus
Covenant's
made it
raids were
through.
as successful as ours.
Yep.
Intel anticipates a major counteroffensive by the Loyalists soon.
All right.
But how much will you pay us?
Sell the Osirises because we're never going to run those again. Let's see. Ooh, we could buy ourselves a Black Knight. Haha. The
Cool.
Black Knight is the heaviest heavy that we have access to at the moment. It is a 75-ton mech. Also, we have the ability to purchase a Thanatos, but we're not going to purchase a Thanatos quite yet.
Thanatos.
The Black. Sure. Anyway. The Black Knight is honestly one of the signature mechs from this time period, mostly because of the shield that it's got on its right side, but also because it is a very, very, very effective beam pod. It's got the ability to technically run 4 PPCs at once. It doesn't have the tonnage for 4 PPCs at once, but it has the slots for it.
This is the Black Knight we're looking at.
Yep, this is the Black Knight that we're looking at.
A humanoid-looking one that's got a very clearly defined head, and it even has a visor and an
And a
oxygen
shield on
mask.
its right side. I don't know about oxygen mask,
Nah,
but
it's a skull face. It's supposed to look like teeth.
well, that's actually the Atlas when we get to that. But
It's supposed to be
no,
the
we won't
fear.
be seeing an Atlas for a while yet.
The fear.
Also, we want to outload this catapult because the catapult is arguably, literally the best mech in the game. The problem that the catapult has is that it doesn't have all that much tonnage, but it replaces all of its tonnage and armor with the ability to run virtually any combination of missile armaments that you want. Look at that 4 slot of missiles on both sides. This thing can actually run and has the tonnage to mostly support, if you gear it out correctly, 4 sets of LRM-20s, which makes it a really, really good missile pod. Unfortunately, it doesn't do much else, but it's really good at fire support specifically.
Lots of ammo. Lots of guns means lots of ammo.
All right. So we've updated what we're going to be running. Now, are we going to do Revolution or Governor's Mansion? Looks like we're doing Revolution. Okay.
The rebels have hired us, and their pockets are fat. In the next part, we're going to leave an invoice on their desk.
You could find your lance in a world of hurt.
Thanks, Castle.